James, 4 games into the new season, what would be your appraisal of the team's progress so far, please?
Well, so far we've played 4, won 2, lost 2. Our 2 defeats, first of all, have been narrow defeats. A 4-3 loss at home to Celtic on the opening day, which could have went either way. We led 1-0 and we led 3-2, so it was a wee bit disappointing not to take anything from that game. And the second defeat was game number 3, which was against St Mirren. It was 1-1 and we went down to 10 men and lost 2-1, so 2 narrow defeats. And our 2 wins have been probably quite convincing, 3-1 up at Inverness and 3-0 away to Kilmarnock, so a bit of a half and half really so far.
Impressive victories then away from home. What do you feel has been the key factor determining those results?
We've had 11 men on the park for 90 minutes. That was basically my team talk against Kilmarnock pre-match. I said it's an easy game and I figured out how we can win. We keep 11 players on the park. It sounds a bit silly and it was a bit tongue-in-cheek, but against Celtic we got a man sent off when we maybe would have got an equaliser, and against St Mirren it was a last man defender chasing a striker through on goal, so those 2 decisions has maybe cost us a little bit. I don't think it's been much more than that, to be honest. Just keeping 11 players on the park, we're good enough to beat anybody on our day, so if we can keep that we've got a good chance.
Do you feel that both the players that have been red carded so far this season have learned valuable lessons from those experiences?
Well, I would hope so, because Ross Caldwell was a bit petulant. He picked the ball up and kind of dropped it on an opponent, which is probably a bit harsh of a red card, but because of that he's had to sit on the sidelines for 2 weeks, serve a 2-match suspension and come off the bench in the 4th game, and Bradley Donaldson's suspended for the 4th game as well, so they'll find it tough to get back in the side, so hopefully they will learn their lesson.
So in terms of competition for places, this week you managed to strengthen the squad by recruiting Adam Mitter, previously been with Blackpool in the English Premier League, so obviously a good pedigree. What would be your evaluation of his attributes as an individual player? Well,
we've only really seen him for a couple of weeks. He's a very good talker. I think that's his main attribute I've seen so far. He's an organiser, he knows the game, he sees things happening before they happen, which is a good thing for a defender to have. He looks fairly good in the air, good tackler and a decent passer, so a lot to work on in his game to obviously go to the first team, which everybody has at that age, but he'll add value to our squad and hopefully he's got a wee chance.
Dean Horrobine came on as a substitute in the Ian Murray testimonial match, scored the day previously up in that game, in that win, kill winning. So what would be your take on his progress over the past few months?
I think Dean Horrobine is an example to anybody in football, whether younger than him or older than him. He trains the same every day. He's a fantastic attitude. I've probably not seen a better trainer in my time in football than Dean Horrobine. He gives everything all the time, every day, morning and afternoon, every game he gives it everything. No half measures with him, not a squeak out him in terms of discipline. And on top of all that, to add to that, I think he's a talented footballer, a great first touch, great passer of the ball, great on the ball. And really over the last year what I've been trying to get him to do is add goals to his game, and for him to score against Kilmarnock is great, and if he can add goals to his game then he could really go places, but he's an example to anybody, Dean Horrobine.
Obviously not the tallest individual, but then he was on the same pitch today as a certified Hibernian legend in Mickey Weir, who obviously was probably one of the shortest players to ever play professional football, so that shouldn't really be a limitation to his progress. Yeah,
even at Hibs, some of their best players over the years have been small. Mickey Weir and John Collins is not the tallest, and Russell Latape, there's 3 straight away. Dean's in that mould, and I think the best players in the world are small players, Messi and Iniesta and Xavi and Rooney. Not to say he's of that talent yet, but when you are small you've got to have something a wee bit special, and for Dean to have been at the club for a number of years, he's deserved that, and I think he's got other attributes that can make up for his lack of height.
Fast forwarding, if we can, towards next Saturday up at East Mains, kick-off midday against St Johnstone. What's your kind of assessment of this fixture, please?
Well, it's the next sort of 3 or 4 games that we really need to kick on in terms of league position. I'm sure that the players that we've got there will get something out of it at the end of the season in terms of going to the next level. But the boys want to do well, they want to kick on in the league. At the moment Hearts are riding high top of that. I watched St Johnstone play on Friday and there's no reason why we can't beat them, but it's games like this I think we need to we need to convert into decent performances into victories. After St Johnstone we have a run of games which include Rangers, Aberdeen and Hearts, so probably the next 4 games will determine exactly how good a season we're going to have. I think at the moment we sit 3rd in the league, maybe just on goal difference, and teams have not played all their games, but if we get through the next 4 games maybe without losing, then we maybe have a really good season as opposed to a good season again. So hopefully that'll start with victory against St Johnstone.